The Act 10 debate end Tuesday, sir?
It ended for me actually with the recalls. Some of the people, I actually looked out my window as I was making some phone calls, and there were still a dozen protesters walking around the Capitol wearing Halloween masks. For some people, I don't know if they will ever be able to accept reality, but for me, the recalls purely said Act 10 was a past issue. Even in this campaign, Mary Burke rarely mentioned it unless she wanted to rev up her base. So I think for everybody in Wisconsin, they should now say that issue is settled law, and we're not going to come back and talk about it. I mean, of course, number one, we have to make sure that the numbers work out. So I have promised that every single session that I am speaker, we are going to cut people's taxes. Does that mean that we'll be able to have billions of dollars in tax cuts? It depends on what the numbers are. But I certainly am going to say we need to fund our priorities, making sure we take care of people who are in poverty that need to have health care, making sure that we have good schools, but then any money that's left over that's found either through cutting waste and cutting the opportunity to cheat the system, all that should go back into tax relief. And there was a proposal that I sponsored several years ago with Senator Harsdorf where we tried to say that 70% of the dollars that are generated should be spent on impacting students. I don't necessarily want a mandate, but I certainly think that we should look for ways to not allow the bureaucracy to grow amok, to not allow things that don't actually help children to take up more resources as we're looking for ways to put more dollars in the classroom. Hopefully that's another area where Democrats and Republicans can work together to say every dollar that goes in the classroom produces better results than just saying we're going to put more in the classroom and never actually measure it.